My guest tonight's a comedian and co-creator of Netflix's F is for Family. He also, of course, plays Miggs Mayfeld in The Mandalorian. Please welcome our really good friend, Bill Burr. Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all seven of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
It's so nice to have you here. You're one of my all-time favorite guests. Always entertaining. We've had such a good time together over the years. You know, we really have.
Yeah, it sucks that you're ending this.
Well, we're ending this version of it. I'll come back with a cooking show or something.
What are you doing? You're going to be on what? HBO Max? Are you allowed to say that on this network? Or are they going to get upset?
No, they're cool with it. I think aren't they all the same thing
they're
eventually?
All in bed together.
Everything's owned by the same thing.
Everybody's owned by one company now. Okay. We're all working for Exxon.
All working for Exxon, and they have a very low budget.
Exactly.
We don't have a lot of money. That reminds me back in the day when I used to do like Chappelle's show. That was like Viacom, and that was the funniest thing ever. They would always be like, we don't have a lot of money. So you'd like book a part. They'd be like, yeah, you're playing a SWAT guy. Do you have any combat boots? And you'd be like, yeah, no, I don't. Any of your friends? Do you friends?
And they're Viacom. They're Viacom.
But it was just like, this isn't my job. My job's to book the part. So we would just give the lady shit down there going, hey, you're playing a blacksmith. You got an anvil? Any of your friends? Can you get one? Lug it over here? It's like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't know. That's always been, I've been paid a lot in exposure throughout the years. This is great exposure. I'm just going to trash everything I've ever done. I love the 80s Strikes Back. It's great exposure. It's great exposure. We had to fight them to give us cab fare. I mean, granted, it wasn't the highest art. Bill, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Well, I'll tell you. Remind me, back in the day, I worked in a restaurant in North Carolina that was slowly going out of business. And at one point, I was the busboy.
Slowly going
Slowly. It was a slow, bad death. They put a 5-star restaurant in the middle of this stupid strip mall. It was doomed from the beginning. So, not to mention, it was sort of the 80s, so a lot of people were, they were ready to work. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Amped up. I was the busboy, I was the grill chef, kicked on a mesquite grill and the dishwasher, all at the same time. I remember there was this asshole. I was thinking about it this morning. This is that Irish thing where you never let shit go.
Yeah.
I came running in the back. I'd taken off my chef hat. I ran out and I bust the tables. I came in the back and I said, hey, we're out of glasses. And this guy who was on work release from prison, he goes, well, why don't you wash some? And he goes, a novel idea. I remember he said, like, he was this well-read guy.
And this guy was on work release from prison?
I was like, yeah, hey, how about you don't go to jail, you convict piece of shit, and I'm doing 3 other jobs. But here's the deal. He was in jail, so I was scared. So I was like, okay. And then I just washed him and probably burned the shrimp brochettes.
That's a tragic story. I'm going to say something, Bill. I'm going to say, despite that rant you just had, where you got your temperature got up a little bit, your heart rate raised a little bit, you do seem calmer to me. We were chatting a little bit when you got here. Seems like you've calmed down. I know you had your second child recently. Fatherhood calming you down?
Baby boy, fatherhood made me have to figure myself out because I didn't want my kids to go through, some of the stuff that I went through. Not saying it was all bad, but some of the stuff that I went through. So I just kept trying and failing with the temper, and I ended up taking mushrooms.
You took mushrooms to help you with your temper?
No, I didn't do that. It inadvertently helped me. I just took it because I was like, all right, I'm going to be 53. I've never tripped. Like, am I going to miss out on that? I'll do it once. I'm in the desert. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So I did it. And, I didn't do a lot of it. So I sort of mini-tripped. You know what I mean? Like, the TV looked like it was going to, get bigger and fall on me.
Right.
Sink looked like it was breathing or whatever.
Right.
But then after that, I was sort of left with this profound sense of loneliness and not feeling loved, right? So I'm literally laying there going, what the hell is this? I love my wife and I love my kids. And I figured it out. I go, oh, this is how I felt growing up. I get it. And then I was like, I've been running from this this feeling. That's why, hey, I do stand-up. I fly helicopters. Am I cool? Do you like me? And I just, like, the pandemic really just not having anything to do.
Right.
Just slowed everything down, and then all of that smoke just kind of came back, and I was trying to, organizing my office, and I couldn't stay in front of it, so I was kind of like, all right, I need to sit and figure out what this is. So it's kind of funny. I ran from it for 30 years, and in 3 months, I kind of figured it all out, put, like, all the pieces together. So it's funny now, I haven't, like, flipped out or yelled in my house. But now I'm going up, I still have that need to be liked, so now I'm like going up to my wife like, I haven't yelled in a while. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Am I a swell guy? Do you like me? So I still have that crushing need to be liked. But I'm not like flipping out.
Yeah.
No, I feel great. I feel like light and all of that. And
that's nice. I'm
I'm not
happy for
worried
you.
about the whole, if you get happy, you're not going to be funny. It's like, no, maybe I could have a new, like, empathetic, way of going at shit while still, I will still forever rip apart inconsiderate people who I deem in my own dictator world as inconsiderate people.
Right.
Like, I had a murderous thought in Target with this fucking self-involved woman who's just shooting the shit with, like, the person at the register. There's 6 people behind you. Just do the transaction and get out of there. And, like, all the stories were self-serving and about herself. And I just felt it. Yeah, I just felt it coming up. We got a tropical storm developing, just.
So you feel, even though you're enlightened now and you've found peace,
I'm not enlightened. I'm not. I figured out that why I'm up, but I'm not enlightened.
Okay.
I'm still a shithead. Don't you dare compliment me, Conan.
Okay.
I'll tip you over in that chair if I was strong enough.
What about, there's a lot of people that are upset about a lot of things these days. People are arguing about whether they should get vaccinated or not. Have you gotten vaccinated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm up for it, too. I'm like, if they, like, they're trying to kill me, which doesn't, that conspiracy, I love a conspiracy, doesn't make any sense.
You don't think the anti-vax conspiracy lines up?
That they're secretly trying to kill all of us for population control? No, because what they would do they would be killing all what they call the sheeple. So all the people can be like, all the people that go, what are we supposed to do? Okay, they're gonna kill us.
Right.
And then just be left with all the Fonzies with their leather jackets who don't want who are too cool to listen to people. Like they got a nightmare. Who's gonna dig their ditches for them? So
yes.
It just doesn't make. If you want to say that they're going to come up with something to thin the herd, I will go with that. But they would never do a pointed attack on people that are going to do whatever they say.
Yes. They're eliminating the wrong group if this is the plan.
So maybe they vaxxed us sheeple, so then they can have a second vaccine of COVID thing come out to kill all the cool people that hit a jukebox and it turns on.
So anyone who's anti-vax is a Fonzie. That's what they're just all Fonzies.
Look at me. We were a couple of Ron Howards sitting here, right?
Sure, yeah, we're Ron
You look
Howards.
like I'm at a younger age. I look at like I'm now. And I like to think I'm the Oscar-winning director, Ron Howard. Well, you're
Right.
still Ron figuring
I'm Ron.
himself out.
I'm towards the end of the Happy Days run.
Yeah.
I might direct the movie.
Right around when he started dating Lori Beth. Right? Yeah. Sorry, that was a deep cut.
Yeah.
Lori Beth.
Okay, so the problem is, in our culture now, if you have a weird belief, you can find a source that caters to that belief, and you don't have to read anything else because of the internet.
It's called the internet. Yeah. That's why I don't listen to anybody's theories anymore unless I just go, did you get this information at the library?
Yeah.
Okay, if you got it at the library, I'll listen to it because the library has the decency to break up information between nonfiction and fiction, meaning this happened and this is just some shit people made up.
Uh-huh.
You go on the internet, everything is presented as nonfiction, and that's why, dude, in my lifetime, I'd say for the first 47 years, that nobody thought the Earth was flat, right?
Right.
And in the last 5 years, all of a sudden, people, are coming out telling me there's an ice wall that you can go look at. Like there's these ice walls. Like we're basically in this giant bowl of, I don't know, cereal or something.
Yeah.
But then once again, I'm like, all right, I'll go with that. But like,
Right.
what is the upside to telling me, a sheeple, Ron Howard, right, that the world is flat, is round when it's really flat?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the upside of doing that?
Right, why trick us? Why deceive us?
Yeah, what do you get out of doing that? And they can't seem to answer it. I go, what you need to do is get a pilot's license and go for your instrument rating. And then when you see VOR signals and realize one of the things that blocks it is the curvature of the Earth, you'll stop trying to rent a boat to go look at the ice wall.
You know, people are flipping out about masks, and on both sides. Like, there are people that say, you know, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more. I'm being honest.
God.
It's an honest, selfish thought that I had.
So just specific commuters. We've got to be clear here. Specific...
No, people that I don't know or love, that I would never miss. It's 100% selfish.
Okay. You just want to...
You know what's funny is when I looked out there, all the real people were like this, and all the cardboard people were still. So I think overall, I think it made sense.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart agreed with that one.
Yeah.
All four of them.
No, 3 of them went for it.
Yeah.
One of them just covered his face. Didn't want any part of it. What do you make of this Bill and Melinda Gates divorce? Are you following that? That's a crazy story.
No, I haven't, but I know if I say that she's going to get a ridiculous amount of money that she didn't earn, I'm going to be labeled a misogynist.
Of course she's going to get a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, why? Yeah.
What do you mean?
Why?
She's been a partner of his.
Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
Stop what?
Just stop with this bullshit that, like, Dr. Dre's wife hanging out with them, and that's why he came up with the headphones.
Wait a minute, what?
I don't understand, like, what do you talk to your wife about? Are you sitting there going over plans and blueprints? You're not. It's all like, you know, you've been working a lot lately.
Yeah.
Which isn't even supportive.
Wait a minute.
Hey, I am liberal when it comes to this shit, because when Britney Spears got divorced from that backup dancer, he should have got a tracksuit and a laptop. Okay? Those were all her songs. And I'm going to say, no, but he supported her.
But this has nothing to do then. What you're saying is this has nothing to do with someone's gender.
You know what I love about Bill Gates?
Oh, yeah,
you know what I love about Bill Gates?
Probably his money,
love that he has so much money that even if she cuts him in half, he's still got 15 million. 15 billion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's still there.
Yeah.
He can enter that second part of his life, you know, maybe wear an open shirt, get the convertible. To track something like, a third of his age.
Get like an 88 Chrysler LeBaron,
yeah,
drive around.
No, get the Ferrari California, you know, the GT, right? You get the GT with the top down, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and go attract some gold digger that's gonna, like, you know, build up your ego. Do that for a while.
Do you think that's what he's gonna do? Do you think he's gonna start?
I think if you buy that car, that's what it comes to you. Like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out, they come up out of the manhole covers, all these gold diggers, like a zombie movie. You make a lot of money, you can't buy a car like that. That is a gold digger magnet. And they're so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that. I'm just saying, predator behavior goes both ways. But this sort of predator behavior does not fit the narrative.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of all those white people branding themselves as good people rather than just trying to make money off the suffering of others.
Who?
Just all of these people were sitting there acting like they're not like up. Everybody is up in the head. You are. If you really listen to your inner monologue, I thought that. Stuck in traffic, I actually had the thought, uncontrolled, selfish moment. I wish COVID killed more people so I could get to the Comedy Store quicker.
Jesus.
I thought, I know it's a wrong thought.
Right.
But
you're
happened.
admitting that you had that.
It happened.
I've wanted to kill and kill again, but I don't do it.
I don't do it either. And that's the difference between being on the outside.
So you think of...
You know, a buddy of mine told me he watched this documentary on the son of Sam. And he was saying, like, dude, you got to see it. He didn't kill all those people. He had help. And I was like, dude, I'm not watching this documentary. He goes, no, they proved it. I go, they did. He goes, yeah, they proved it. I go, how did they prove it? They go, well, they went in, they asked David Berkowitz. They asked him. They go, did you kill this guy? He's like, yes. Did you kill this guy? He's like, yes. Did you kill this guy? He goes, no. He said no. I go, oh, you mean the guy who was talking to a dog? that guy, that's your proof? I don't know.
Not everything he says.
This is why I like this sweater.
Yeah.
Because it just lets people know that I'm this curmudgeon. I'm really steering in. I'm going the opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm supposed to be doing HGH, get that Hulk face going, right?
Right.
Get some hair plugs.
Yeah.
And what's the last thing? What's the trifecta of that? Oh, the Botox.
Oh, yeah, you got to get Botox.
You got to go Botox, you got to do the hair plugs, and then you do the HGH, and then your organs grow so you still kind of look fat. You know?
But you're going the other way. This is so much cheaper. You're wearing a sweater.
Because those people need a sidekick, right? They need the sidekick in the movie that looks like this. Right? So I'm going to fill that void.
But you are. You're on The Mandalorian. That's a huge deal for you. For anybody.
That was a huge
You're
deal.
in the thing. That's the one show that everybody watched during COVID. I have to question you about this because you used to make fun of Star Wars. You would go out of your way to make fun of Star Wars.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I only did it when it came out. And I saw a long line of people looking like they were going to enjoy themselves. And I did my comedy job, was I made fun of them and I tried to make them feel stupid. I do that all the time. That is the job of a comedian.
So it had nothing to do with Star Wars.
I made fun of Steve Jobs when he died and all the nerds that loved his little shit that he did on computers.
Yeah.
I made fun of it.
Yeah. So what you do is when you see people enjoying themselves or filled with any kind of glee.
Anticipation of a wonderful day.
What do you like to do? You like to take that away from them.
I come in my X-Wing fighter to get into your world, and I
It's
take
not my
them out.
world.
Well,
I don't watch that.
It seemed like you took it a little personal.
I did not. I like the original Lost in Space. You know, that was my thing with Dr. Smith.
I loved it. He just couldn't hold his composure.
No.
Oh, no! It's just like anything that was happening. But I loved when shit wasn't happening. He could sit in the calmness of being lost in space with the spaceship. Did the spaceship work?
It worked, but they would go from planet to planet, but they were lost. But I'm talking about the
Gilligan's Island in space.
In the 1960s, Lost in Space, they had this ridiculous character, Dr. Smith.
I loved him.
Who said, "You bubble-headed booby!" Yeah. And he would yell at the robot all the time. And every episode, he would take the kids and try to sell them to aliens so that they could be taken off to an intergalactic zoo. The parents would foil it at the last second, literally try and take their children from him, and his punishment at the end would be like, "No blueberry pie for you, Dr. Smith." And he'd go, "Womp, womp, womp."
Yeah.
He tried to kill your children.
It was an abuse. He didn't. He tried to leave them behind.
Yeah, awful guy. No one's going to care about this part. Check it out. 60s Lost in Space. It's just absolutely
it's
insane.
It's an abusive relationship,
Yeah.
right? He's lonely. He didn't have a partner out there.
No.
You know?
His partner was a robot.
So maybe he felt like if he got rid of some of the stuff that these people loved, that he had a shot at love.
That's a very good read on it.
I'm just saying.
I like he has compassion for Dr. Smith, but not for anybody else.
Yeah.
Star
No, I
Wars
don't.
nerd, you. Dr. Smith, child killer. Maybe you should think of it from his side.
Yeah, it's, you're all over the map. You're all over the map. You know?
I don't think I am. I think I'm right on it.
Well,
But that's
congratulations.
that's how human beings are. Everything I'm saying totally makes sense to me.
Right.
I mean, if you could hear the applause between my ears right now, like, yes, Bill, yes. No, listen, I know I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. And I should have read a lot more in life, and I didn't.
There's still time. Now, touring. Touring's a huge part of your life. Crowds, laughter. When are you going to get back to it? Is it starting to open up now, right? Are you going to do some indoor shows soon?
Yes. Actually, the Comedy Store is open now, limited capacity. And I have to tell you, after a year of doing shows outside and dealing with everything from mosquitoes to helicopters to doing shows near like highways and stuff, to actually be inside and there's no distraction, I went on stage. I felt like I was on steroids. It was so easy. Like, I built back up my hell room muscles that I used to have when you first start out as a comedian, you basically do stand-up wherever they would let you. Like I remember a long time ago, me and this buddy of mine, Rick D'Elia, did a show at the Fisherman's Feast in the North End in Boston, and we were so excited that Nick's Comedy Stop called us, like one of the main clubs, and we were like, oh my God, we're in, and it was like an afternoon gig. He was standing in the streets after like this a band playing like Volare, whoa, and all these Italian women like hanging out the windows. Like I felt like I was in like the Pope of Greenwich Village or something, and we had to go on up after that and just absolutely just bomb. Like that's like the whole first 8 years of your career is like every third gig is as bad as that. So after you make it and you start selling tickets, you actually get worse. You're not as good because people, rather than having to get them, they're like yours to lose.
Yep.
And I kind of built that stuff back up again. So I don't know how long that'll last, but.
I feel like it's going to be first of all, like a renaissance. I mean, I know it's not in either of our nature to be optimistic, but I keep thinking so many performers have been put on ice for so long.
Yeah.
That there's all this pent up frustration, observations, anger, and it's all going to come out in the arts in some great way.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a positive thing. I don't know. I just wish they'd get rid of CNN and Fox News and the ability to leave a comment on the internet. And I think if they just did that, everybody would kind of relax a little bit more. And there could be more sort of, you're on this side of it, I'm on that side, and sort of give each other shit and then enjoy each other's points more so than, all the capital letters that people type in and shit.
Yeah.
Because I am all over the map, though, I get shit like I get shit that I'm a Trumpster. I get shit that I'm a socialist. I mean, it's literally all over the map.
But you make both sides angry.
I guess that's what I do. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
All right.
No one's happy when you're talking.
Yeah. I think that's going to be my wife's new ringtone. That's going to be her new ringtone.
All right. You can see Bill in theaters across the country this summer and fall on Big Burr. Sorry.
On what?
I don't know. You can
Big
see
Burr.
Bill. You can see Bill in theaters across the country this summer and fall on Bill Burr, the tour. When I later have a degenerative disease, they'll say that was when they knew that I mispronounced that right there.
You get worried that it's already coming on?
I do sometimes.
I do too, yeah.
Whenever I mispronounce something, I think, oh, that's when it begins. This is now. Now is when it starts.
I see movies, and like a week later, I can't remember what happened. It's kind of cool because I can watch them again like it's the first time, but like I can't.
I've always wanted a place that will give me an operation that destroys the part of my brain that's seen Godfather 1 and 2, so I can see it again for the first time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Come back again. What if you had, sorry, did I not give you the reaction you wanted?
No, you looked horrified, which is appropriate. Can you imagine if I had a big scar right here and I was running a fever all the time and you said, what happened? I went, I had the part of my brain that has seen Godfather 1 and 2 destroyed, but it also attaches to my speech center.
Well, no, when my brain went, it was like, well, there's drugs you can take that will destroy that part of your brain and everything becomes new again. But I don't know if you even understand the context of it. I've been watching a bunch of, and listening to a bunch of music from the 70s and movies from the 70s, just simply because that's when I was a kid, and I feel like that's before whatever the happened to me. And so I go back there, not like that was the greatest time, but I came over, listening to the Dirty Harry soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's wild. You feel like you're gonna go solve a case. Then there's this weird woman's voice going like, whoa. Like this weird sort of drugged up white thing.
I know exactly that. I know that soundtrack well.
Yeah. Yeah. So
by the way, one of the most fun things I've done, just in the last couple of years, was you called me up when you were playing the Forum, and you said, "Come on down. I have a drum kit, and I'm with some musicians. And before I do my show at the Forum, we get to screw around in this amazing space." So I came down. You said, bring your guitar, and we had a blast. You're a great drummer. It was really fun.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That was great. That was really
fun.
fun.
A comedian, but we had Dean Del Rey, Michael Devon. I'm trying to remember the people. We had a mix of comedians.
Yeah.
failed musician comedians,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like real deal guys like Michael plays with everybody played in like Whitesnake and all that stuff
Yeah.
before all this crap happened.
He could play everything. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a clip. I wish I could, if I could find it on one of my phones. We did Van Halen, Ain't Talking About Love, and there was some guy who had like the Van Halen like tribute guitar, and he, you know, was crushing the solo. You came down. What'd you play? Van Morrison. It was such a great time.
I think I played Van Morrison. Yeah.
We ended up playing for like almost, it felt like 3 hours, and I
Yeah.
had such a good time. And then when I stood up, I had no energy left, and I was like, oh my God, did I just blow it?
You got to do a
Yeah,
show
now
at the
I have
Forum.
to do the show, but fortunately, the fear of screwing that up becomes like adrenaline.
Yes.
And I was able to go out there, yeah, I forget what that sounds like, even having like a crowd. So.
Right. We'll get back to it.
Yeah,
We'll get
hopefully.
back to it.
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure I get this. All right, you can see Bill in theaters across the country this summer and fall on Bill Burr, The Tour. For full tour dates, visit BillBurr.com. And The Mandalorian, of course, available on Disney+. Massive conglomerate. No one here is getting that money. Bill Burr. That was great.
Thank you.